Cozy House Essentials back at you again with another custom tiny home exterior design video. I am at a community called The Waters, not too far from Dallas, about maybe 45 minutes away. And this is a beautiful community of tiny homes. This is the office area here. This property is filled with nothing but tiny home owners. As you can see over here, we're looking at some of the tiny homes. Each tiny home, if you choose to get a shed or anything, it has to cohesively match, as you can see. And all of these tiny homes have to be skirted. And everyone that lives in this community owns their tiny home. There's no Airbnbs here or any of that. This is the clubhouse, which has a laundry room in it, a kitchen to have like parties or whatever you want. You have a area over here. I want to call it, it's not a gazebo, I know that, but look at this covered area that you get to enjoy if you live on this property. As you can see, the water over there as well. Look at this nice area, which is connected to the clubhouse, which is free if you live here. So there's no deposits or any of that that you would have to pay to use the clubhouse here, or any of the amenities. Everything's all free. You have the pier area over here, just so beautiful. And then right outside the clubhouse, you get this nice patio covered area here too. So the lady here that works here was telling me that they just did a wedding. So how nice is that? We did tour the kitchen area here before, but let's just go in and look at this clubhouse area, which, look at here, you get to use this area too, free of charge if you live on the property. And here is the laundry room. All of the tiny homes come with washer and dryer connections. However, if you need to wash, or if you have an overload and you want to bring like some of your bigger items down here, the laundry mat is here for all of the people who live on this property. So how nice is that? They have the books and everything, and there's the patio deck area there. And beautiful kitchen area also. So if you had a party or anything, you have this nice clubhouse, which is so nice. You have your kitchen area over here to cook and make all of the party foods. Such a nice clubhouse to be able to have. Very nice. Let's go outside and look at this. So beautiful. I'm at a tiny home community in just a little bit shy, 45 minutes outside of Dallas, and it's called The Waters. And you get this path that will walk you all the way around this small little pond area, which is beautiful. And you have plenty of trees in this community, just so beautiful. As you can see, there's tiny homes just right over. That's a shed right in back of a tiny home that we have viewed. And then you can see those tiny homes over there facing this water. How beautiful is that? You get your pier over here. And just an overall nice community. And if you want to live in this community, you will pay between $600 to $700, up to $775 for your lot. So the most that you can spend for your lot is $775. And of course, that's going to be separate from your tiny home expense. You'll get that custom made, or you will buy your tiny home from one of the tiny home vendors near you. Okay. Now there's some properties on inside of this community right now that are for sale, which we did go in. Some of the people were nice enough to let us inside to just look at the property, to get a good look on the inside. But look at just how beautiful this is. I love this community. I had a nice tour with the lady here that works the management in this office. So she was nice enough to tour me all the way around. But as you can see, these are the tiny homes, and we have looked at several tiny homes. Here is another idea. A lot of people are like, where can you know, you put your tiny home. If you are interested in a tiny home, I say do your due diligence. You know, before you start buying a tiny home, you are going to want to either go to a resort that has a tiny home. You need to stay in one. You need to get the feel of it. You need to check around your community. You need to go to the different builders and vendors, manufacturers that carry them. You need to take the time out, because if you're switching from living in a just a regular home style, you know, like more than 399 square feet, you know, it all sounds cute until you get in it. And if you're not used to it, even though you love the tiny home, if you're not used to it, it can cause you to move out and make a regretful decision because you did not do your due diligence. I mean, they're all nice and cute. Like I said, when you look at them, and you just might want to have them because they look like little doll houses, but you need to make sure that you're not going to be claustrophobic, that you will be able to withstand being in a smaller community and a smaller home. Like I said, I love this property. You have two doggy parks here as well. One for the big dogs and one for the little dogs. So, and like I said, this path right here goes all the way around the pond. So beautiful and so peaceful. I've already met one of the residences here. She's an esthetician, and I told her I'm in need of a good facial, and she uses very good products, Eminence. So I've already met one of the neighbors. I haven't even, you know, began to live on the property, but I have already met one of the neighbors. And then you have your gate. There's a couple gates here, one on the other side as well. So you just are not going to be able to drive in and out of this community without access. So I love that. Another thing I love about this community is as you can see, here's a shed here in the back. As you can see, there's a shed there, but each shed has to match the tiny home. Now, there are a few RVs out here. These RVs across the way here are grandfathered in to the property. There will be no more of the RVs in the property after that grandfather, because they want all of the properties to be tiny homes. So there are some lots here. Like I said, the lots are between $6 to $775. If you're facing the water, or if you have a bigger lot, it's going to be $775. As you can see, they all have 2-car ports here right in the front. This is a cute one. I love the green here. I can get a little bit closer so you can see the green. Very nice. And then they also have like this really pretty green shed in the back that matches their tiny home, and they get the fence here. Now, if you're getting the fence, if you want to get a fence, it's going to cost you up to $3,000. And the owner of this property here, you have to go with this particular fence, which I love the fact that you know, everything stays cohesive that way. That way you don't have one person with this color fence, one person with this style of a fence, and so forth. And as you can see, this one over here too, same thing. Green house, green shed. So here is just an example, and here's another gate back here as well. So every sector is gated in, which I love as well. So guys, this is an idea, plain and simple, of where you could put a tiny home. You just have to look for your community that you want it to be. And I've always said that you can put it on your own land, right? That you can find yourself. You can find some land to lease, which is this is a spot here where you can lease a spot just like this, anywhere from $600 up to $775. So after that, you'll pay for your tiny home that you're getting custom. And of course, there's going to be other fees attached to moving on a property like this. But let's just start with getting to know the idea of wanting to do it, and then we can get off into more of the pricing and all that. Like I said, this is gated in all the way around, and as you can see here to the back where we are in the sticks, we are in the country. Okay, so this is where you'll find tiny homes in the country. Okay, but isn't it beautiful though? And from talking to the management here that manages at this office, the clubhouse, most of these people are retired. They've sold their homes. The esthetician that I met, she's quite young. I'm pretty sure she's probably around in her 30s. So it is a very mixed environment. Diverse-wise, very, very diverse as well. Just from observing. Okay. So just overall, a beautiful property. As you can see, it's very quiet. It's about 3 or so in the afternoon. So, it's not as busy, but most of the people here, like I said, are retired, older. So it's going to be a little bit quieter, more peaceful type of atmosphere. Once again, I am at a community called The Waters, not too far from Rowlett, maybe 45 minutes or to an hour outside of Dallas, just depending on which sector of the Metroplex you're living in. I'm in the DFW Metroplex. So, like I said, just a nice community. You get the pond, you get the clubhouse, and you get all of the amenities inside of the clubhouse as well. Like I said, there are a couple of travelers like this. They have been grandfathered into the property. As you can see, most of the properties here are tiny homes, but apparently the people that aren't in a tiny home were here before the tiny home community began. So these people are grandfathered in, okay, and very nice. This White House up here is for sale. Didn't get a chance to go into that one, but here's a cute one as well. This is one without the porch, and as well as this one is one without the porch. So now you can see that looks more like a 399 square feet type of home. But the good thing about it is you would get to customize your own tiny home. So, and get it to the exact, likings for you. So, but look at, this is how it would look, just in general. This is an option to lease a lot like this and get your tiny home. Here, this one is for sale. I'm not quite for sure yet. I didn't get a price on it. The person is just not selling. So look at how beautiful this area is here. You have room for, a nice garden area, beautiful porch, 2-car port in every single tiny home. And then up here, nice porch area. Maybe we'll get to look at this one on the inside eventually, but for right now, we're just going to do an exterior view. Hope you guys have liked this tour of this tiny home community called The Waters, just right shy past Rowlett, surrounded by a beautiful community of tiny homes, and with the exception of some of the, like this Montana and a few others that were grandfathered in because they were here actually before the tiny homes were here. So, but thereafter, there will be just your tiny home community. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this tour. Like I said, I'm at The Waters out a little bit shy past Rowlett, and if you are interested in buying a tiny home and you're not sure, about where you would put it, you do your due diligence, look up the tiny homes, start testing the waters. I'm here to give you just a little bit of information. I hope this will help those that are looking for tiny homes in the Metroplex or even out of state if you're looking to move to Texas. I have been touring several locations, so stay tuned. And like I said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this tour. And I'm going to go ahead and close it out with, if you like looking at custom homes and interior design, like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more tiny house walkthroughs. Thank you. Bye.